I'm going to be showing you exactly why your glutes aren't growing, and it's probably not what you think. I built my own glutes from pancake flat to bikini pro level plus even bigger, and this is exactly what I've coached thousands of clients to do the same. I wish I had this video when I first started. It would have saved me years. I'm going to be giving you everything that you need to know in order to be able to grow your own glutes this year, the anatomy, the training, the best exercises that you could be doing, and my top glute secrets, and the mistakes that you're probably doing that's killing your results in the gym. I'm not going to fluff this video. I'm just going to tell you straight exactly what you need to do. So let's get into this video. And you're probably going to want to save this and come back to it later because it's quite a bit to digest. First, we need to talk about the anatomy of the glutes and what the glutes are actually made up of, because we want to make sure that we're hitting the glutes from every single area and both lengthened and shortened positions. Your glutes are made up of 3 muscles: your glute maximus, your glute minimus, and your glute medius. Why does this matter? Because different exercises hit these muscles differently. And if you're only doing one set of exercises, then you're not going to create that full glute projection that we want. If you're only doing squats, for example, you're going to be undeveloping your glute medius, and we're going to be missing out that upper glute shelf that we're after. And if you're only doing kickbacks, you're not going to be loading up the maximus, which isn't going to give that overall shape that we're after. So you need to understand each 3 and what exercises work what, so we can feel them working. And one more thing is the glute is a postural muscle. So it's actually designed to be able to take actually a lot of load and volume. We want to make sure that we're creating enough stimulus to be able to actually drive muscle growth in the first place. So just doing a few body weight glute bridges isn't going to cut it, unfortunately. We need to make sure that we're loading up the muscle and breaking down those muscle fibers to come back stronger. Just keep that in mind as we go through everything else. There's 4 variables of glute growth we want to be looking at. The first one is mechanical tension. This is the most important driver of muscle growth. More tension equals more growth stimulus. So make sure that you're going heavy. If you've been doing the same weights for the past 6 months, then no wonder why your glutes aren't growing. We need to make sure that we're progressively overloading every single workout. And just when you think you're pushing yourself hard enough, you're probably not. There's another 10 levels of intensity that you can be pushing. You need to be lifting heavier than what you even think. The second variable is metabolic stress. The pump feeling that you get, we do want that. Those are higher rep exercises. We do want to chase that. So having a mix of both low rep, where we're going really heavy, and then we're also getting that pump feeling, we want to be doing a combination of both. It's not just like this high weights, low rep is better, or this high rep, low weight is better. The best thing that you can do is doing a combination of both. Scientifically, we know this and we see this in the research. We want a mix of high rep ranges and low rep ranges. And that high rep range where we're doing those 15 to 20 reps on that slightly lower rate, we still want to be chasing that high RPE of, say, RPE 8, which is your rate of perceived exertion, but we want to be chasing that pump effect. Number 3 is muscle damage. This is the micro tearing of muscle fibers. This happens especially during the eccentric of the movement, which is the lowering part of a exercise. Romanian deadlifts are a great example here. The stretch under the load damages those muscle fibers. That's what comes back stronger. When we recover is when we're building back stronger. Variable 4 is frequency. We can't expect to grow our glutes if we're only training them once per week. Even twice, I don't believe is enough if you're serious about your glute training. Ideally, you want to be training your glutes 3 times per week. The key to balancing all 4 of these variables is balance. We don't just want to obsess over one of these variables. We want them to work in harmony together. So your program should have heavy compound work, which is creating that tension, moderate rep ranges, which is going to create that metabolic stress. It should have lengthened position exercises, which is going to help with muscle damage, and enough frequency to help keep the stimulus consistent. Now I'm going to be sharing with you the best exercises that you can be incorporating on your glute program. It's important to note that all glutes aren't created equal. So everyone's program needs to look a bit different depending on your starting point, especially if you are one to target maybe more of your upper glutes, then maybe you do need more of your glute maximus. I'm going to be putting these best glute exercises in 2 tiers. Tier 1 is your growth drivers, your hip thrusts, your Romanian deadlifts, and your Bulgarian split squats. Tier 2, these exercises are going to create the shape and the detail of the glutes. This would look like a cable or a machine abduction, a goblet or a hack squat, and a glute bridge. I'm personally a massive fan of single leg glute bridges with a dumbbell. If you haven't done it before, do body weight, that's okay, but you should definitely be adding weight if you're intermediate to advanced of a trainer. Tier 3 is going to be your accessory work, which is what we typically do more so at the end of a glute program. So these are exercises like clamshells, banded side steps, kickbacks. These do have their place, and you want to make sure that you're going to be progressively overloading on these as well, not just body weight. The mistake that a lot of women make is that they spend most of their training session doing these tier 3 exercises, which is just these light accessory work movements. Do your heavy compound exercises first, which is your tier 1 exercises, follow it by tier 3 and then tier 3. That's how you want to structure your glute program. Now I want to talk about progressive overload, because progressive overload is one of these single-handedly most important things that you need to ensure that you're doing in order to be able to grow your glutes, or any muscle for that matter. There are multiple ways that we can progressively overload, and that is making sure that we're adding more weight every single time that you go and do that same workout, or you can be adding reps, you can be adding sets, you can decrease your rep time, you can decrease your rest time, or you can even just improve your form or your range of motion. But the key thing is that you are following a training program for multiple weeks, not just a few weeks, not even just 6 weeks, 8 to 10 weeks. You can go even longer. Make sure you're following in this training program for a good period of time, and that you're improving and progressively overloading every single time you go do that same training program. That is how we actually progressively overload and build muscle. Now, I'm going to be sharing with you a free glute training program. If you want this, DM me the word glutes and I'll send it straight through to you. This has 3 lower body and glute focused days. I absolutely promise you, if you follow this training program and you do everything I say in this video, you are going to be adding inches to your glutes. Take some before and after photos, send it through to me, report back in a couple months. I want to see your glute growth. DM me the word glutes and I'll send you through a free glute training program. Now, moving forward from that, I cannot ignore one of the most important principles, and that is nutrition to support your glute growth. If you're not eating enough protein to be able to support muscle growth, you're not going to be able to grow muscle, and therefore you're not going to be able to grow your glutes. You should be aiming to eat at least 1.8 to 2.4 grams of protein per kilo of body weight per day. Protein is an absolute non-negotiable. You have to make sure that you're eating, and at very least, a calorie maintenance, or ideally a surplus. What is a calorie surplus? A calorie surplus means eating more calories than what you're burning on a day-to-day basis. And ladies, please do not fear carbohydrates. I even recommend to all of my clients to be eating 40% of your daily carbohydrates about 1 hour prior to training. Carbohydrates is actually our main energy source. If you cut that out, you're not going to have any energy during your training session. Carbs is seriously fuel. All my ladies have built their glutes from eating so many carbs. Carbs are not to be scared. You should be scared of not eating carbs. So the top 3 mistakes you should be avoiding. Mistake 1, no progressive overload. Mistake 2 is not eating enough protein. And mistake 3 is that all or nothing mentality. You don't just want to be following this plan for 2 weeks and then fall off. Just because you slash 1 tire doesn't mean you need to slash the other 3 tires. Eating 1 bad meal and then just saying, screw it, I may as well eat bad for the rest of the week, is not what we want to be doing. It's not the matter of if you're going to go off track, but the matter of when. What matters most is that you give yourself some grace and that you get straight back on track the next day. It's so important that we have a healthy relationship with food and our bodies and fueling it properly, because that's what's going to create an overall really enjoyable approach. I say this all the time, but long-term consistency always will win over short-term intensity. Making progress isn't about being perfect, it's just about being consistent for long enough. Show up for yourself even when it's not ideal. Eat your protein even when you're full. Go to the gym even when you don't feel like it. You want to make this so much of a habit and part of your life that it feels weird to not do. And if that feels foreign right now, I get it, because that's what I was like when I first started, and then I just kept showing up for myself to the point where I just started seeing the results and just fell in love with the journey. So that's everything. The anatomy, the training, the progressive overload, your training program, the mistakes to avoid. If this was helpful, please subscribe. It helps my channel out a lot. My goal is simple. It's just to help as many people as possible. I tried to make this video as direct and as simple as possible, and building your glutes can be quite simple. And if this was helpful, please subscribe. My goal is simple, is just to help as many people as possible. I drop content like this every single week, and you should definitely go check me out on Instagram at Jasmine Temple and Fitness, as I post every single day, 365 days a year over there. Drop any questions that you have below. I read every comment. And if you want a free glute program, DM me the word glutes and I'll send that over to you. Thank you all so much for watching. Let's get to work. Let's grow some glutes.